and then we'll hop on. Alrighty, I think we are directing into Facebook. There we go. Perfect. All right, let everybody else in here. So, good morning, everybody. Monday, we have, I was just saying we're on a holiday Monday, but it's exciting because it is what we call one of these master days where we're able to really focus in, and numerology wise, we're in line for big change and big support. And cosmically, there's lots of really cool things going on right now with the planets. So that just kind of, when I talk about the cosmic influences, it's like kind of like talking about the weather a little bit. You know, the weather's going to affect everybody differently. And so I can tell you it's going to rain or it's going to snow, and you can know that it's going to rain or snow, and you can choose to just sit in the house and watch the rain and snow come down, or you can go out and get wet and cold, or you can make these choices just kind of knowing what's going on out there, right? It's not like imminent danger, don't leave the house because of this or that, but it's a chance to just kind of go, maybe I feel like dancing in the rain today. Maybe I feel like climbing back into bed because I know it's pouring all day today. It's how it affects you that really matters. And when we have this information, we can make choices that will support us in those decisions that we make, like wanting to go out and dance in the rain, wanting to let it cleanse us, wanting to do these things. And so I see it as empowering versus these imminent danger warnings. It's just what do we want to do? What do we want to create? Everybody's absolutely different. And when we know that it's raining out, then we can choose our path a little bit more clearly. And so when we look at things like a new moon and a super new moon, it's the last super new moon, I believe, of 2023, which essentially means, when we call it a super moon, means it's closer to the earth than it will be for the rest of the year. Happy new moon, Amanda. Welcome. Welcome, Margie, Heather, love it. It's great to see you guys this morning. Um, it's it's a beautiful time to really manifest. When we look at a new moon, it is truly that it is this darkness where we can plant these seeds. And we know when we're germinating seeds, what we do is we plant them. They don't need light when we're first germinating them. In fact, they do best in darkness, in the soil. They just need the right environment to be able to actually start sprouting and germinating. Germinating is different than growing stage. And when we look at our cycle, even as women, we have this rhythm, right? This other cycle. It's not just the circadian rhythm like it is with um, hormones and sleep and all this kind of stuff, right? We actually have this cycle that we go on as well. And so knowing this, and with a new moon, it's kind of cool. You're either a sun person or a moon person, or a red moon person or a white moon person. So a red moon person is generally a person that is in a menstrual cycle around a full moon. A white moon person is generally in the menstrual cycle around the new moon. So you can kind of know where you're at. You can kind of know where your cycle is when we're in the first stages of, say, ovulation, and that first week thereafter. We're in creation mode, where we're having lots of energy. Our hormones are supporting us to really make, and whether you have a cycle or not, you can kind of know where you were at. The sun and moon version is more where you were, often if you were born under a full moon or new moon. And also by knowing, flips around, flips flops. That's funny too. Yes, it does. Um, and knowing, are you a night person? Are you a person that actually, is kind of like off until about 2 in the afternoon, and you really flourish in the afternoon and evenings? You're generally called a moon person. If you're like the morning get up and at 'em kind of person who just loves mornings, and you're usually a sun person. So knowing, recognizing that we are energy and that we are really truly affected by the sun and the moon and the way things are, allows us to just do the best that we can, feeling the best that we can, maximizing our cycles. If your cycle tends to be around the full moon, knowing that leading up to menstruation and that week of menstruation is more the time where we should be kind of allowing the body to release, resting a little bit more. Whereas in that follicular cycle, we can sort of push ourselves a little bit more. So just sort of understanding where your cycles are at, even um, if you don't have a menstrual cycle, you may know about your ovulation cycles and things like that too. So you can use that. The ovulation is when we have the most energy and that we can sort of push ourselves the most, where the menstrual cycle is sort of the opposite. So even just understanding why you're super tired around a full or new moon, it will definitely help you to be able to maximize your energy and to be able to maximize your output and what we are really meant to be here for, right? So it's kind of neat how it all works. But this master day that we have today is kind of the precipice of allowing yourself to rest and reset today, allowing yourself to really kind of pay attention. Now, what's been coming forward, especially with this new moon right now, is we can make this decision to actually honor ourselves. We can make this decision to rest today. We can make this decision to be really sort of focused on the fact that what may have been happening is not exactly where we're wanting to be going. And I mean, for me, it's this, this weekend it was insane. This weekend is because my kids have been in the same sport for the last 12 years, basically. And I've always been managing or coaching their teams and always had a lot going on. My husband's birthday's on the 19th. My daughter's birthday's on the 15th. My best friend's daughter's on the 18th. It's like, this has always been my busiest weekend of the year. And in knowing that this year, it was like I felt it coming on because it's a lot of pressure. We had literally a game, we had like 3 games yesterday. I was at the rink from 7 in the morning till 10 at night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had all their family over for dinner last night, so I had to get home and make a dinner for 8 people and make sure everything was, have presents for everybody, have all this going on, and make sure we had enough financial support to be able to support this weekend because it's a super crazy expensive. Like just everything had to be lined up for this weekend, and it was really funny. I had I had been thinking out loud. Um, usually at this time, right? Usually at when things get really crazy. Like I was literally taking one kid from one rink in the city an hour and a half away to getting to another rink on time. And I used to my driver's license record, I had so many demerits and I had so many, we would waste so much money because I was always having to speed so much. And it was like, but I have all this going on. I have to speed, I have to do all this, right? And yeah, I was getting in accidents, and I was like, I think I've told you guys about my car is like in the winter, my car is like my gauge of, how things are going, how crazy things are. In the summer, it's my garden, how's it looking? Is it weedy? Like it's kind of like my reality gauge where I can look and go, oh boy, I've needed to eat all week and I haven't, and now I've lost my veggies because I left them too long. And I had been putting energy into that and thinking about it. And on the way home or on the way in between games where I had the ice cream cake in the trunk, trying not to let it melt, although it's freezing up. I fucking got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. And I was like, no, all this money. And my daughter was like, what, mom? You haven't had this forever. And I was like, that was that, like, it's like If I need a reality check, I freaking get one. My husband speeds, he gets to town in 10 minutes. It takes me half an hour. Think the guy ever gets a speeding ticket because he puts no energy into that. He's got this like, it's like this. I can't fuck around at all because I get busted immediately. The last time I got a speeding ticket, it was the only time I sped in a year. And it was because my kids were late for school and I was like, but I gotta do it. I gotta. So I literally went, and then the police came by. And there's like, I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's no police out here. And it was on the same highway yesterday. And I was like, dignity, and I like it just, it's so obvious and yet I still do it, and I was so mad at myself. And I'm like, but this is what this moon is showing us. To me, it's just like, here it is. You want to know? You've been asking the questions. Here's your answer, young lady. Like it's just, it's freaking phenomenal. And so beating myself up about this, right? Trying not to, it made me so uber aware of what record is playing, what stories am I, why did I even let myself go there? I had the opportunity to shift that thought and I did, but it was enough to put that in the field. Like, I know it, I put it in the field. So we have to be so careful of our thoughts. Oh, and the nightmares. Oh my gosh, Heather, the dreams are unreal. My mom even came to me in my dreams this week. In 18 years that she's been gone, she's come to me twice in my dreams, and that was this week. And it was like, whew, the dreams right now are crazy, and the veils are so thin that if people are past, they're going to be coming up and they're going to be coming in your dreams. The dreams are insane this week, and this is the supermoon. And this is the thing, right? There is no veil right now. It is like paper. It is like tissue paper, okay? Like you can hold it up. It's cellophane. You can see right through it. It's insane. And so the thing is this time is pushing us to change, especially for those of us who are still like, it's okay, I can still do it all. I'll take care of it next month. It's okay. This is the busiest time of year. I always do this. It's not okay. It's not okay. We cannot continue this. Have you been asking these questions? Have you been wanting this change? Are you not making it? Well, guess what? We have been asking for these answers. We have been asking for this change because we freaking know it's not working, right? We have had years of repeated patterns where we know it's not working. And now that none of these planets are in retrograde and it's not just throwing up past stuff, this is all on us. These are our patterns, and this is what we need to see. And so for some of us, it's going to be in your face because we need to see it. And it's tough because today, the Fool card, right? Hello? Like, we have been asking these questions and we are getting the answers, but are we integrating and acting on them, or are we continuing our patterns, right? Like, do we really, next year is this full on manifestation year? Our 7 year is to integrate all this. Are we integrating? We ask so many times, why does it have to be such intense lessons? Like when I'm sitting in front of the red and blue police things yesterday, I'm like, why? I do all these good things all the time. Like, oh, it's here, right? Does it have to be thrown in our face? Sometimes. Sometimes it does, because we don't fucking get it. So we have to take that. We have to own it, right? We do. We have to own it. It's like, this is truly what we've been asking for. Shift, change, letting go of this stuff, right? It's so time. I can't believe I'm getting upset about this. But it's gotta come out, because trust me, I had no time this weekend to let it out, so thank you. Thank you. But even today, leading into today, right? My daughters, one of my daughters is going out with a friend today. And I knew I needed this reset with my husband. He's home today. He's been gone every week. You guys have known that. He's gone every week. Yesterday was his birthday, so today I was going to give him a massage. We're going to have a nice day at home, and I I have to go out and do something that is going to basically end up taking up my whole day, and I'm doing it to sacrifice for my kids, and that's what I've chosen to do. I've chosen to go ahead and do this, and it's like still, even though this can happen yesterday, even though I'm still, it's like still giving, still giving. I'm going to do it for my kids rather than do what I know I need to do. I need to stay in bed and meditate, maybe with my husband, right? This is what we sort of need to do today. But yet we make the choices for other people. So, am I going to shift things after tonight? Yes, after tonight, this week is going to be different because these lessons have come in a really beautiful way. So I'm going to choose to enjoy this day with my kiddos as much as I can, and know that really after today, this new moon energy is going to be something that I, we always say, I've learned my lessons. I've learned my lessons. I've learned my lessons. And I used to say that after every accident, after every ticket, but I've gone years now without tickets and accidents and doing so great. And so I'm going to choose to shift the frequency around that, choose to hold that energy, not be in that fear, not be in that anger. But because of everything going on, it's literally like a reminder about every 5 minutes where that guilt and that shame starts to come back in about all the stuff that all the lessons, all the this is what we don't want anymore. We ask for clarity. We're getting that clarity on what it is we don't want anymore. When we have this contrast of what doesn't feel good, we can choose to do differently. We can choose to make different decisions. And what these decisions have to be based on is you and what you really need, what you are meant to be here for. We are all here because we are meant to do more, to be more, to share our light. We are light workers. We are star seeds. We are vibrational, energetic beings that have this path of being enlightened, taking care of ourselves, loving others, choosing where our energy goes. And so this is a gift, right? To be able to actually choose where our energy goes. Good morning, Samara. Don't mind me. I'm having like this good release. I so needed this morning. I'm so so glad that you guys are here today. This new energy supermoon. So it was a perfect day to be able to kind of share some of this stuff with you guys. Now, as the weekend sort of progressed, it just kind of got more and more intense, just on a cosmic collective level. And so you notice probably people that were really are in this kind of ascending pattern. They're doing really well, and a lot of people are. Oh, I love how songs come into our head, right? And we know a lot of this. We know, and we know because it's happened over and over again. But right now is such an intense and beautiful time to be able to actually kind of go, okay, I am cosmically supported to make these shifts and changes. I have had these lessons. I have had these realizations in a way that I've never had them before. And I'm choosing to actually put myself first. Is this something that we've ever really truly done before? Because it's always about other people. It's always about other things. It's always about, you know, that guilt, that shame. And because why do we do these things for other people? It's generally from a lower vibration, a lower frequency, a limiting belief. We have to be more. We have to be perfect. We need to belong. We have this guilt and shame from our old patterns of maybe something we didn't have for ourselves growing up. We get to choose differently now. And how tough do we want it to be? Do we want to keep getting smacked in the face? Do we want to keep making it way more difficult? Do we want to keep winding up in the ditch? Do we want to be like, it's, yeah, these things have happened before, but on a cosmic level, on a collective energetic level, you guys have heard me over the last little while talk about um, just collectively losing so many people with all of these natural disasters that have been happening, all these huge shifts that have been happening. There's big stuff going on in the energetic field, and it's not just us feeling it, it's really on a collective level. So the people that are still really stuck, they're going to be hit in the face right now if they're not ascending, if they're not following this soul. When our soul wants something, it's telling us so innately and so deeply that when we don't listen, that contrast is going to be so huge, because it's not our soul's journey to be doing everything for everybody and not ourselves. We can do anything, but not everything, right? How often do we see these quotes and these things that, so for the people that really need to make these shifts, it's going to be in your face. Now, how much in your face do you want it to be? Or why can't we simply allow ourselves to have a day once in a while where we do the reset, where we actually have a day for ourselves? You don't even have to go out to a spa or spend money, but just frickin' meditate, like just allow yourself to be able to shift out of fear, anger. We look at that frequency scale. It's what it's all about. And you see the people that aren't shifting or aren't there, they're stuck in that fear, their anger, and they're making reactory things. I've seen people filing for divorce this week because all of a sudden they just, it's like the way the way we have, there's certain planets right now, right? Like the way we have, there's Venus and Pluto. Pluto is kind of like the death and new beginnings planet, and the way Venus and Pluto are aligned together, Venus is our self-confidence planet. So the way that they're aligned right now, it's like almost probably stronger than it's been in years. And the way that it is under Pisces, everything's going under Aries right now this week. So it's like this major, major shift. So if something's meant to leave your field, oh, it's going to be showing you this week. It's like, it's going to be so, so clear. It's just, are we listening? The self-confidence, the self-reliance, all of these things that we've needed to sort of build up are able to come through right now. The way Mercury is it's aligning with Venus as well right now. And so that's all about like innovation. Has anyone not been able to decide what they even want to eat? Like, have the decisions been like, I just can't make a decision about anything. It's like this, almost like this cloudiness, like, yeah, getting rid of things, like knowing the things that are not meant to be in your life right now, you will get rid of them. But not only that, the people that are not doing the work and not ascending in the way, like if we're like, hey, you should, real souls, intentions, information, everything coming through, we're still not acting on it. It's because we're in a lower frequency of fear, anger. Yeah, like it's really hard to even decide what you want to eat. Like it's just like your brain feels like it's scrambled. It's like I just can't. I'm just not going to. Like it's just too much work to figure out what to make for dinner lately. But that was this weekend's energy. So that will be kind of shifting out a little bit, but knowing that you're not going crazy, that it's just like way too much. And that is true too, especially if the back of your head and your neck are really tight, there's not blood flowing, you just don't have the capacity for these decision makings. Or if you're a little neurodivergent or a little neurospicy, we only have, I always like the spoon theory. We talk about having, most people who are neurotypical have about 20 spoons to deal with decisions. Like, sometimes 5 of them are gone by the time you leave. Like, here's a spoon for what I'm going to eat for breakfast. Here's a spoon for getting my kids out of the door. Here's a spoon for actually remembering all the stuff I need to bring with me for the day. Here's a spoon to get myself to work properly. Like, you have so many spoons. Neurotypical or neurodivergent people often have about 4 or 5 for the day, whereas most people have about 20. So by the time 10 o'clock in the morning rolls around, oftentimes you just don't have any more spoons left to make these major decisions and have this capacity. But this time is kind of all about, I talked about last week, sort of clearing clutter around you, in your actual environment. This week is kind of about clearing emotional clutter, clearing mental clutter, doing the mental, energetic purge of the things that no longer belong. And the beautiful thing is that we're supported cosmically to do this. That's why it's so strong. I had a lot of people, most of my clients last week were like, I don't know why, but I went through all my piles. And we're just drawn to this, right? Like we're just, yeah, like it's just this clutter purge. Well, this week is all about the emotional, mental clutter purge. So allow yourself to do this, because guess what? If you don't, it's not going to be pretty, and why let that happen when we know that's why we're here? We know this now. We have this information. Allow yourself. If we're not going to allow ourselves, it's just not going to shift. It's not going to happen. So planetarily, you might even notice, because Mercury's involved here with Venus, it's squaring with Venus. Mercury is kind of all about the communication, the electronics, whereas Mercury, it's Uranus, not Venus. It's more innovation. So it's kind of like the computer stuff. It's a great time to get rid of the 8,000 emails you have in your box, or the 500 messages that you have, kind of taking up that it's space, right? It's taking up energetic space, energy, time. I'm already starting to feel better. It's all about our spiritual growth. We've been asking for this. We've been working towards this, and our soul wants us to grow so badly. It's why it's here. It's why it chose this body. It's why it chose this lifetime. It's why it chose this timeline. And we can choose to really go for it, right? We've invested this much time, energy, money, everything into this soul's journey so far. So when we're not honoring it, when we're not paying attention to it, when we're not doing the things that our soul is asking us to do, this is when we're going to experience that contrast. This is when we can use these messages so clearly to make these shifts happen, because we really are cosmically supported to make this happen this week. This is, especially these next few days after a new moon, it's like time to really focus on what we're germinating on. If you were to go get some seeds at the garden center today to plant, now we have to make a decision. It might be a little bit tough. But this is the biggest reason that this emotional and mental clutter needs to be purged, because it's begging to right now. And we are so supported to do this. I've got goosebumps just going down my whole body right now, just knowing that this is exactly what we're meant to be doing, right? Last year, even, we probably had some seeds that we were planting, but it's not with the clarity that we have this year. This year is huge. It's very different in energy all around. When you look at all of the stars, all of the cosmic sort of lineups that have been pre-sent by people studying it, and going by the charts and actually saying, this isn't stuff I'm just making up. This is like, I research about 6 or 7 different areas and kind of make my own kind of cosmic influential patterns of what's going on. And Heather, I know you had actually asked me about, like, where do you get a lot of your information from, right? Because I always have these, it's like literally from 7 or 8 different sources. I have a couple of good friends that are crystal gritters. They have been doing this work for a long time. They're psychics. One is in Mexico, and one is actually down a couple hours away from me in Canada here. And her and I, the one in Canada, and I, we have worked together for years, working on each other, helping each other clear. I would do a massage for her, and we would both have these crazy experiences where we would see these things. Like she's a really amazing lady. She channels a lot of this stuff. And we talk every week, sort of getting clear on where things are going, what we're feeling, what's going on with all of the other influences that we have had. She talks directly to source, to the crystal grids. She gets information. It's pretty wild. Um, um, and so we're very close in that way. So we work together. But I love, I go on space.com a lot because that's all about where the planets are. And then knowing what each of the planets are, I incorporate the information in my brain with what the planets are doing. So it just makes perfect sense. Like when you see, Mercury with Uranus, it's going to be innovation. When you see, Venus with Pluto, it's all about your self-confidence building. Yet Pluto is all about, like I say, the harmony in relationships, the death and the rebirth and things like this, right? So when you know what the planets kind of do and represent, and when they're aligning, when they're squaring, when they're depending on where they are. But geez, you're cute. There's just a lot of stuff floating around in here, so it needs to
It's
come
true.
out.
I don't know how you retain all that information. I just don't get it.
It's honestly, it's my soul's, like, I feel like it's my soul's purpose. Like, even at Ringette, the coaches are like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, it's a new moon. They're like, how do you know this shit? It's like, well, you remember last month when it was a new moon and you were like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, yeah, it was because it was the new moon. Like, it happens cyclically. And she's a physiotherapist and they stay in their lane and like, she doesn't get this stuff. But lately she's like, so what's going on with the moon right now? I'm like, oh, just like this weekend. She's like, no, it's playoffs. I'm like, I know. It's just, it helps you to understand, but you see it in people. And not only that, being, coaching and always with massage was like you saw these patterns in people. You saw these even in their bodies. It would be like certain things, full moons. I knew I was going to get calls of people being like, you need to fix me. I can't even move because the inflammation, because it's the pressure, right? And the new moon, it's like the sort of like the same thing because you're germinating these things. You're needing to kind of go into this darkness, and I love it. Like that's how it's like I can't not study this stuff. Like I live for it. I love it. It's totally my jam, and that's why I know I'm doing the right thing, right? Like I can't not do it. And these
No
are
doubt, no doubt.
that's right. And that's when you kind of know your soul's purpose. If I was to just ignore that and go get a normal little job doing my summer catering like I did, that's when it's like, no, it doesn't light up my soul. Like, yeah, it'll bring money in, and maybe this doesn't always do that, but it does, right? Like in different ways. It's just a matter of staying on task. If you don't do things like, oh, Samara, you'll laugh because you have to watch the beginning of the replay because you get money in and then money pilfers out or hemorrhages out when you do stupid things and don't end up receiving like you should and give out more than we need to. It goes out in different ways with things like speeding tickets that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars that
Oh
you
my God.
be hemorrhaging at that time, right? Like,
I can't relate to that at all.
no, I'm sure you can't. Right? It's not all about just making money. It's about where are we hemorrhaging it? Where are we giving it away? Where are we giving our energy away? Where are we allowing these things to take us off track and take us? So I was saying earlier, it's these profound lessons, that we get, but how many lessons do we need? We are ready to shift, and the universe is so beautifully telling us right now exactly where we need to be. And how is it telling us this? With the contrast, with the things where you're like, I don't like this. I'm upset. I'm feeling, it's different if you're emotionally releasing to let it go because you've been holding it in. But if it's like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, no, you can't. You actually can't. And this is your soul and your soul's journey saying, this is not why are here. We are not here to just do this. That timeline may have led you this pattern may have led this lesson, this person, all of these things may have given you these lessons, but this is not your soul's journey. Your soul's journey is this. And then it's like, it feels so good to recognize that, to go with that. So the frequency scale, right? If we're in that fear, if we're in that anger, if we're under anything other than acceptance, acceptance is that shifting point. Acceptance is where we go, okay, so here we are, now where am I going, and making this conscious choice instead of allowing those lower frequencies to keep you in there. And how do we know we're on those lower frequencies? Notice your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Where's your Care Bear stare going? I even had a client on Friday who told me, and she hasn't watched any of these, none. We've never even talked about Care Bears. I asked her how her dad was doing. He lives in the States and he's sick. And she goes, what's really neat? Um, I don't know I can't even remember how it happened. Someone ended up giving him a gift, and he's an older man with dementia. She had no idea about any of my Care Bears talk. She goes, someone gave my dad a little yellow Care Bear, and the Sunshine Bear is the one my daughter, I have all the pictures of when she was a kid, Sunshine Bear. She goes, someone gave my dad a yellow Care Bear, and he has hugged that thing. She goes, have you ever heard of Care Bears? And I was like, yes, I have. I didn't even tell her. She's Mennonite. She's very religious. I didn't even go there, right? She goes, my dad got this Sunshine Bear, and he started holding it. He's sleeping with it. He sits and has his cereal in the morning with this Care Bear in his arms. He hasn't put it down for a week, and he's getting better. He's getting better. He's feeling better. He's like, he had major health problems. Like, they weren't sure a couple weeks ago he was going to pull through. And this Care Bear changed his life. And I'm getting goosebumps again. And I was like, yeah, thank you, universe. Thank you. Because it's just these little signs, am I making it up? I don't know. But knowing that this is way bigger than us, way bigger than us. This is how energy works. Is that something that she tells everybody? Probably not. But she shared that information with me, and I just it made my heart sing. And again, I didn't say anything else about the Care Bears. I was like, oh, I love Care Bears. I just, I couldn't even begin to try and explain it. But what is our Care Bear stare, right? What are we focused on? Where is our frequency? Knowing that frequency scale, knowing that simply all we have to do is go to acceptance and then move up into love, into appreciation, into gratitude, into joy, into anticipation, excitement, any of those emotions. So get into something that's bringing you some of those versus bringing you some of the lower frequencies. Understanding, knowing who has been creeping back into your field lately that is a lower vibration, that's showing you maybe where your vibration's at. Because when you're in that higher vibration, they don't even come around. This weekend, I have a friend who reached out who is in lower vibration, and she was like, hey, is everything okay? Are you mad at me? Like, I was like, well, we haven't talked probably in a really long time. But she didn't even notice until this weekend, until I was on that sort of lower vibration of being too busy, not doing what I knew I needed to do, kind of going into that guilt, shame, got to do it all for everybody else. It's just what I've done every year. I've always run all these events. I've always done it. So I just went for it, just did it, didn't pay attention to what I really needed. And there they are. Hi, how are you? Are you mad at me? What's going on? These are the indicators, right? Like, it's absolutely huge when you really look at it. And I love her, right? It's just, we're at a very different frequency. And when I'm operating really high, it just doesn't happen, right? So it's just wild. It's just noticing these things, but also acting on them and knowing, not that you're going to, wind up in a terrible place if you don't, but maybe you will, right? What if just being in the lower vibration of guilt and shame and all that stuff is enough of where we really don't want to be, right? Because we know even just spending 17 seconds in that, it's going to bring more of that. So shifting it right away. How do we shift it? Do something that you love. Do something that you know you need to do. When you're, say, noticing that you're feeling I got to do this. Okay, I'm just going to do this for one more day. take one of those steps, go delete 100 emails, give yourself little things, right? Delete a person, unfriend them, someone who's just like, bah, do it, know that you are making these decisions to really allow, oh, my body's releasing like crazy right now, to allow your soul to expand. That's what it's here for. That's why we're here. So before I have to go run off on my day and spend this last day of doing things, it's going to be a fun day. I got invited to something fun. It's just not exactly what I knew I needed to do, but maybe I do. Maybe, this is the other thing too. I think I've told you guys this story probably about the Chinese proverb where it's like, maybe this is the best thing in the whole world. Maybe just going out, because it's just going out and having fun, but it's just, I kind of had other things in mind. Maybe it will be just super fun. Maybe it's going to be the best ever. Maybe that's exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be doing this fun thing and kind of spending the day with my family, right? Maybe it's just, right, the kid, the old story goes that there was a man whose whole neighborhood would come to him every day and go, oh, that's terrible. And he was like, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's, it's like a horse came the first day, or he lost his horse, and then everybody's like, oh, that's terrible, what are you gonna do? That's the worst thing ever. Well, I don't know if that was the worst thing ever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Next day, 3 horses came back, right? And everybody's like, oh, that's the best thing ever. He's like, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Like, let's not make up our minds. Let's see, what does the universe want for us, right? Allow it to feel good. Maybe it is the absolute best thing in the whole world, but look at the frequency you were in when you created it, right? Look at the frequency. When I was thinking about all this stuff, I was in that sort of getting into that lower guilt, shame kind of frequencies. Not that we can keep ourselves 100% perfect all the time. Nobody does. But the beauty is noticing the frequency we're in. When we want to know, is it our soul that really wants this? Look at the frequency you were in when you created this, when this came into your life even. Were you in the frequency of fear and grief and anger and shame when something presented itself? Or were you in, the emotions, the frequencies of love and appreciation? Usually that's a really good indicator. If you're making the decision like, that's it, I'm getting a divorce because you were triggered because your husband did something or the other, right? That is not the frequency that we should be making soul's decisions from. This is not always for our greater good. When we make the decision from, what, I just know that this, when we just know, when we just feel like this is for my truer greater path, it's an easy decision. It's not made from a knee-jerk reaction. It's made from breathing and responding and noticing. I'm in I'm in the vibration of soul expansion. It feels good. It feels like, yeah, maybe it's hard, but it's like, it's right underneath. This is kind of when we know we're making these decisions to help our soul grow. So in that, I just want to give you guys some good energy. I just want to allow us to tap in a little bit to these seeds, to focus on, if we were to go and buy a few seeds to really allow our souls to expand. This is a big moon. We're not going to have a new moon that's as close and is going to be as profound to really grow the seeds that we want to really start germinating these things that are going to bring us forward into our future like this again this year. So it's really time to embrace this. And I want you to just kind of focus on some of the things that in the past have been helpful for you to process through emotions, to get yourself grounded. What allows you to fertilize your soil? What allows you to really, in the past where you've been like, yeah, that really worked for me, to prepare your soil, to prepare your garden, to know, maybe it's like, just allow the things to come in as I say that, is it, I really flourish when I take my Epsom salts bath every day. I really flourish when I use my oil and I do a little hack and, raise my vibration immediately. I'm just going to use some black spruce here. I always love my black spruce. It's that frequency of like 555. It's up above love. It's like, you want to get there instantly, Oh, that feels so good. Using those little tools, right? It just like feeling those goosebumps literally from the very top of your head all the way down. What has felt good for you in the past to really allow you to sort of process emotions, move through these things? Is it purging? Is it getting rid of clutter? Is it certain foods or drinks? Right now, we're all about root chakra in this moon. So eat red foods, wear red colors, bring out your red jasper and your red tiger's eye and your even your pink, like your rose quartzes, and bring out your red stuff right now to be able, oh, look at Heather in red. Yeah, I love it. Use the red, right? Like it's really powerful. Eat red foods, right? Do it out, have a nice maybe beet juice. Get into your red foods right now. Allow your root to really heal. What kind of spiritual practices do you usually do? Have you been wanting to do yoga? The Kundalini yoga is really, imperative for moving that root, allowing that energy to be released and unlocked, and really allow that to move through. Um, what kind of, oh, with communication right now, we're all about sort of like, what are you saying to people? Are you saying what you need to say? Are you keeping everything in? Are you letting out what needs to be let out? Is it time for you to speak up for yourself from a grounded, rooted place, not in a knee-jerk reactory place where remember, it's the death, it's the we gotta respect these planets that are allowing this big change to happen right now. But maybe speaking up for ourselves is something that really needs to happen. And I really want you to think about your intentions and your goals as you set in on this year. These plans that you made in January that maybe have fallen a little bit off track, these intentions that we really want to set. I want you to imagine having 3 seeds in the palms of your hand right now. And we're just going to breathe some intention into this. We're going to just connect with our breath, get into your heart, get into your root, get into your body. And just take a few nice deep breaths with me. And as you take these nice deep breaths, as you breathe out, I want you to actually breathe out through your mouth, even with a sound, kind of like, and just allow yourself to breathe out and really start setting the intention of seeing these 3 seeds and attach a word to each of them. Perhaps it's self-love, perhaps it's balance. I feel like love is one of them, just exuding, just absolutely exuding. And play. Are you going to have some fun this year? Are you going to allow yourself to do the things that expand your soul? If you were to pick the best 3 seeds that you absolutely could, and remember, over the year you're going to be planting, you still have a few months till your seeds actually go into the ground. But if you know what seeds you're planting now, you can make sure that this soil is fertile, that this ground is ready for it, that it has all the coffee grounds and eggshells and nitrogen and oils and whatever it is you need in your soil to get it ready. You can be prepared. You can go and get what you need. You can do the things that you need. Maybe even think about the areas of your life that these seeds could represent. Can it be play? Can it be abundance? Can it be health? Right? Bring these seeds into your heart and allow your heart to just expand. Allow your heart to be that fertile ground where this new moon's energy, this new moon's darkness will let them set so deep into your soul so that they cannot do anything but germinate. Allow these seeds, imagine them starting to germinate in your heart. And I want you to feel these seeds enter your soul. I want you to feel them enter your heart. My heart just did a little flutter as I did that. Maybe you guys felt that too. Allow these seeds to go into your soul, into your heart. Open your heart up and imagine these roots going all the way down your spine, germinating, growing, just the roots. There's nothing growing above the ground. It's all roots. Ooh, feel that as it goes down your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral plexus, down into your root. And imagine that root growing these long roots that are, now you can almost hear them coming out of your body and down into the earth, tapping into the water energy this month. Oh, I feel Black Moon Lilith coming through right now. Oh, I just got these huge tingles to my body. Black Moon Lilith is kind of like our witchy woman, the one that stands up for what's right, the one that will not back down, the one that has the strength to give you that power, to give you that unshakable groundedness where nothing can knock her off track. And I want you to tap into that power. And allow those roots to go down deep into the earth where you just feel them literally tapping into that earth's energy and absorbing and bringing up into the body any nutrients, any teachings, any knowledge. And just allowing this energy to move through your body, starting to vibrate, starting to almost make you feel like your cells are cleaning and clearing and transmuting. All of this change is so ready to happen. Allowing yourself to notice again those areas that you are germinating, to really put some beautiful focus on that just for a moment. I'm going to be quiet as you just allow these teachings to move through your body. I'm seeing a turtle right now. The indigenous teachings of turtle are about truth, patience, timing, not rushing, allowing this to happen, not forcing, knowing the path, knowing your true path. If any spirit animals are coming to you right now, just allow what's coming through your mind to come into your soul right now to help you truly expand. We're just going to allow the root chakra to spin, to balance, to clean and clear and transmute. And if you guys are okay with me connecting with your field, I'd like to actually recode a little bit of this. Just tagging and treating anything in the chakra fields, anything in the energy fields, anything in the meridians, the radiant circuits, anything just looming about in the energetic fields that are ready to be released with this beautiful new moon energy, knowing that the darkness behind the moon allows the stars to shine brighter than they ever have, lighting up for real what needs to shift in your life. Even if we don't know the answers right now, allowing them to come through in the most beautiful way. Moving through that root chakra, actually feeling that open. Relax all the muscles in your pelvic floor right now. Letting them go, relaxing the pelvis, the hips, relaxing your butt muscles, your thighs. Bringing your energy and attention down to that root chakra and just allowing that energy, almost feel it swirling and spinning. Allow it to move up through that sacral plexus. the solar plexus, and even envision the colors, the beautiful red, moving up through the orange of sacral and the yellow of solar. All our truest wishes and desires, relax your belly. Let it just hang out. Cleaning, clearing, and transmuting any of that energy in those lower three chakras, just allowing them to emanate that pure light to balance, knowing that your roots coming out of your root chakra down into the earth can help that earth energy exchange, that water energy exchange, almost like it's being washed out right now. Just imagine that. Like your chakras are in the car wash right now. Just allow those. 100% permission to allow your chakras to align. Moving up through the heart. Knowing it's safe. Allowing some of those walls to come down. Truly honoring yourself. Planting your seeds in that heart chakra. Being intentional. Choosing right now those seeds that you're planting. It's done. They're germinating. This is what you're asking the universe for. Now it's simply to allow and receive it to happen, letting that heart chakra open as much as feels safe, cleaning and clearing and tagging any resistance in any of those chakras, moving up into the throat, and choosing your words so carefully, breathing and responding before you say them, allowing some of those thoughts and some of those streams of consciousness to be released in the most beautiful way, and connecting with your soul and knowing what should and should not be said. If you're asking, should I say this? Ask how it feels and where your frequency is at that time. Where is it coming from? Those lower frequencies or the higher expansion frequencies? Tagging and treating the throat chakra all the way into the face, the ears, the sinuses. And allowing that third eye to truly let you keep your soul's vision, your soul's true purpose in clear view. Imagining a beautiful purple, white night sky, so bright with the stars' energy, allowing yourself to tune into that with your crown, almost like each star's light is caressing and kissing your crown. Each star's light, each sun up there, each planet, expanding your soul's purpose, expanding your light energy. So much so that you can almost see the lines connecting your crown chakra right to the stars. Tagging and treating any resistance to this in the field and doing a massive change history on all of our energy centers and chakras. Tagging and treating any old patterns that are just ready to be shifted right now in the field, and just choosing to 100% give yourself permission to let these go. Doing a massive change history on those old and original events. Tagging, treating some of those timelines, past, present, future, and even past lives. Things we have chosen to let go, things that are releasing from the field, to let them truly go. Noticing they have no place in our new garden, in our soil. They've been that one thing that's bringing those flies, those bugs back that keep damaging your crops, and just allow those to go. You don't need them anymore. They're not helpful. I'm doing a massive change history on that. Tagging and treating any of those limiting beliefs, any of those old patterns keeping us stuck in those lower frequencies. And truly choosing to let those go now as well. I'm doing a massive change history on that. And choosing self-love, soul expansion, self-care in a way we never have before. Notice where you feel that in the body. I feel some pain in the heart, some heartache you've chosen to never want to feel again. Notice those emotions that we've never wanted to feel again, those those protection devices that we have put up so that we never have to experience. We notice how those are pulling us back. Notice how that is where our energy goes. And again, choosing to just create these new seeds that aren't new at all, that have been in there longer than any of those old patterns. Tagging and treating anything else in the field, in the DNA, family histories, allowing that to just be released into the field. Much like bubbles just popping away from the body, allow them to just expand. And one last time, just imagine your roots being so tapped into Mother Earth, into the beautiful water energy of Pisces and Aries moving in, allowing that light from the stars to connect into your crown. And take a few nice deep breaths as you just allow this this channeled energy to leave your body. Pushing that light through from the stars. It feels clear. Pushing that light through from the stars. Allowing it to expand from your crown all the way down your face, your head. My third eye is itching right now. Feel that beautiful light that's being shone on from the stars, from the darkness of the moon that we won't see again for a whole other month, and make some intentions for this month. Make yourself some promises right now. Maybe it's not today, but this month you're going to honor these things. In the truest, most profound way, the things that are ready to die, to leave your body, to leave your soul's journey right now, are ready to go. I want you to give yourself permission to let some of these things go. Don't even need to know what they are, but your soul knows. And with another nice deep breath, feel that energy moving all the way from your crown, moving down your spine, almost like you can feel it moving through your neck. Relax your shoulders. Bring your shoulders back. Feel that strength from the stars coming in. That strength of the darkness of germination truly coming in. Allow your soul to expand into this version that your whole collective consciousness has been waiting for. You are meant to do big things. You are meant to touch people. Choose to believe in yourself. Venus is going to bring this self-confidence in. Allow this shift to happen. You know you were meant for more than this. What if you allowed yourself? What if you believed in yourself? What if you just knew that everything always works out for you? Feel a few affirmations into your body. I am an expanding soul on a greater journey. I am a healer. I am a source of light. And feel my heart just skipping into my hands. We're going to ground all this into the matrix of the universe. And allow all the strength from the cosmic energy that we have right now to just support you so fully. expand your soul's journey. Taking a nice deep breath, we're going to ground this all into memories and timelines 1, 2, and 3. Doing a massive super recode on anything else in the field that needs it. For past, present, and future. And just take a nice receiving breath. And go into today knowing that it is a master day, that it is meant for true manifestation. It is meant for true healing. It is meant for self-care. It is meant for expanding your soul. Just going through the chat super quick. And know these veils are thin, these dreams are big, and that you are meant to be here at this exact time. And we're meant to hear these messages. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me. Whew, I feel amazing going in today. I have a whole new lease on life now. I've got my seeds in my heart, and I'm choosing to make this the best day ever. I'm going to choose to go out and have some fun and just enjoy some time with a friend and my kids. And I hope you guys choose to have the best day ever. And if you're noticing that you're not, allow yourself to shift that. Allow yourself to choose differently. Allow yourself to really embrace this contrast, because your soul is telling you exactly what you need to hear. I love that. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday to share, and I'll let you chat a little bit, and we can just connect and move forward with this beautiful week. Enjoy this new moon energy. Do some writing. Love you guys. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you on Wednesday morning. I think Marina has her session tonight too, so hop on for another one. We'll see you guys later.